YouTube, what it do, loved ones? You know the motto. If you can, after the story, go over there, hit us with a like, which is a thumbs up, and that'll let us know we kicking our stuff. Right here, we on the edge with BJAPB, and he finna send us on one today, man. You on the line, big homie.
All right, today I got a story for y'all about a race ride that took place in 1998. In 1998, October 7th, about 9 p.m. in the morning, they released Yard on the little folk state prison yard. We was already on lockdown for a previous altercation where a brother had got into it with a white boy over a debt. The debt was supposed to have been a $10 debt where a white boy had paid a brother $8 and didn't give him the rest of the money. Somehow they got into a disagreement and got into a physical altercation that led to a lockdown. On October 7th, as we came off the lockdown, the rumor was spreaded that the situation was squashed. But everybody already know how it goes back then. Back then, people tell you things are squashed just to get you to relax and then go from there. So as we entered the yard, we looked up, we only seen 4 white boys out the yard. At that time, that's when they only used to let one building out at a time. There was only 4 white boys in our building. So when we came out, we seen it was only 4. Everybody what to doing, what they doing. The homie Swan Dog, rest in peace, from Swans, had already told us, keep your eyes open. He was like, people say shit over with all the time and it don't always be over with. So as we looked up, Dog and several other people had kept reporting to us every time a white boy would come outside. Before long, we look up, it's like 20 white boys all in their area with jackets on. Once we seen they all had jackets on, we already knew something was in the air, but nobody really knew if they were just talking to each other or what was going on. About 9:15, 9:30, an alarm went off in one building. When the alarm went off and they hollered, get in, everybody went to look towards one building to see what was going on. And we started hearing people hollering. When we looked up, the white boys was on the basketball court. They had ran on the basketball court and attacked a few brothers from the Bay Area that was on the basketball court playing basketball. We all started scattering everywhere trying to get there. Before we could get there, some brothers that made it, the ones that was on the track made it there. Some didn't. Some was picking off white boys all over the yard. Police started shooting, throwing smoke bombs, and everybody scrambling everywhere. It was real chaotic. Once we looked up, we saw one brother on the ground hollering he had been shot. Another had been stabbed up pretty bad, and they came out and put a sheet over him, letting us know he had died. As we lay on the ground, the police had came and cuffed us all up, cuffed up the whole yard. Whether you was on the grass or you was on the concrete, they cuffed everybody up. After they did a few escorts, took all the Mexicans inside and the others, the Asians and the Samoans and the Indians, they put all the blacks on one side of the wall, all the white boys on the other side of the yard. Before long, we look up, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock. There's one dude that's still laid out there on the yard under the sheet. People got to complaining about the brother being out there, dead, still under the sheet, just laying on the middle of the yard, nobody doing nothing. So they took us from off the yard put us behind the wall. When we got behind the wall, people was trying to figure out how something so small could go wrong so fast. As we all got stripped out and got took into the hole, the police came around and passed a piece of paper around everybody, asking everybody was they enemies with any of the whites, and asking the whites is they any enemies with the blacks. Everybody said no. They shipped the majority of people out, people that had been in more than one ride or whatever. Everybody else they sent back to different yards. When we got to the yard, that's when we learned that the ride was over the remaining debt of $2. And not only was that, we found out that the alarm that happened in one building was the white boys trying to attack our brother as he came from work. One of the white boys slipped and fell off the tier. He wasn't hurt severely bad, but he was hurt. And the reason why I told this story is because a lot of times people want to hear gangster stories and hear the things that go on in prison. And what people fail to understand in prison is that any little thing you do can cost you your life. And sometimes people think it's just about you being a gang member. No, it's not about you being a gang member. When race riots happen out, everybody, you could be 90. If you out there on the yard, people going to attack you. And these are the type of things that happen when people run around and don't have no respect, or run around and disrespect other people and don't care about other people's lives. You got to understand, in prison, everything is we, not I.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's not like how it is on the streets. You jump up and do something, you are held accountable. In prison, when you jump up and do something, you involve all races, no matter what it is, whether you get the canteen shut down, whether you decide to blow the TV out in the day room because you want to watch something, no matter what it is. So those that never been to prison, that's what it's like to be in the ride. And as I said before, I tell these stories to acknowledge those that never been involved with this stuff and never have to experience it. I hope you pay attention to this story and learn from it. With that said, I'm out. Peace and blessings.
Man, 89 on up. G stuff, not ye stuff. With On the Edge BJ APB. And we closing it out on that note.